that break because a brisk dog walk or a bike ride can absolutely shake loose the problem. And then you come back and you can see the solution. Sleeping on it works as well. Well, this week's Chit Chat Across the Pond was another Programming by Stealth episode where Bart continues his mini series recapping all of the different hats JavaScript objects wear, doing a lot of redux to kind of cement the concepts that have been spread over so many lessons. Takes a really interesting approach this week to his teaching. He explains a concept, and then instead of having little contrived examples, he shows us exactly how that concept works in action in his homework solution from Programming by Stealth 85, which is one we're still working on. His solution to the homework assignment is, of course, beautiful and elegant. Beautiful, he gives credit to Bootstrap. Elegant, he would probably give credit to jQuery, but I would give credit to him. I'm really enjoying these Redux segments because, like I said, they cement things that were still kind of wobbly or possibly completely gone from my memory. Each time through, I'm finding I understand how to even categorize the information now in my brain, where the first time he tried to pour it in there, I just didn't know where to put it to hang on to it and really understand it. I explained to Bart that I think he's actually kind of mutating the way my brain is wired now, which is kind of terrifying. Anyway, you can find Bart's tutorial show notes and listen along over at bartbusschots.ie. And if you can't spell that, it's bartb.ie. All right, save. Save and add chapter marks pod feed because Steve commands it.
So we're back up on the video.
Oh, good. Hi, video. Hi, Frank. Let's see. Since they may not know where we were, I should say to the video people that we had a little power glitch and it went kablooey. My Mac stayed up. Steve's did not. It seemed to. Steve, you said the whole screen went dark?
Well, everything just powered down.
Oh, it actually was powered down.
Yeah, everything went down.
That's disappointing. You should check on that UPS of yours.
Yeah.
You sound sad.
Yeah, I'm a little bit sad that it didn't. That I didn't have a smooth. Power down.
Yeah. Yeah. It should have stayed up for that little bit of time, right?
Yeah.
Oh, don't be sad. All right. This is going to be interesting. And this is going to turn into a new guest.
Which, by the way, what did you just do? Chit chat?
Yeah. And now I'm doing Tom on the internet.
All right.
Yeah. Copy link. All right. And now I'm going to go to this one, which becomes this one, which goes up here. And then this one goes over here. And then I go back to this one. Very smooth. Uh-oh. There it is. Nope. That's the wrong one. That's what I want. Nope. That's what I want. There we go. All right. Muting Steve. You may know from way back that Bart and I did a podcast called Taming the Terminal. Bart was the instructor and I the student, asking the dumb questions in which he taught me how to make the terminal do my bidding. It was kind of planned at the beginning to be of limited length, and we stopped at 37 episodes. There will be more episodes coming as Bart plans to explain the change to the ZSH shell from Bash shell in macOS Catalina. And so he's going to do a couple of more episodes. He's got that one and something else up his sleeve. Now, all of that is old news because we finished that a very long time ago. But this week, Bart and I got a very happy surprise. We were tweeted by someone who goes by the name Tom on the internet. Here's what his tweet said. Over the past few months, I listened to a wonderful podcast called Taming the Terminal, hosted by Bart Busschots and Podfeed. I recommend it to anyone afraid of the terminal. I wrote about it here. And he gave a link to his blog at tomontheinternet.com. Well, of course, we love the tweet, but the blog post is even better. I don't want to steal his thunder and read the whole thing to you, and there is a link in the show notes to the great article he wrote, but I wanted to read you a few little highlights. I think his perspective was really interesting. After he sets up the story, he wrote, I don't know much about Bart and Allison, but they started to come into focus as I listened to the show. Allison is a techie podcast host who has known Bart for a long time. Bart's a regular guest on her podcast, but he also helps her with web stuff. Bart and Allison have decided for this podcast that Bart will slowly teach Allison to tame the terminal, and I was along for the ride. Well, I love everything about his post as he walks through his own learning process and about his observations along the way of the very different contributions Bart and I bring to this adventure. He totally gets us and our relationship. Now, the best part of this is that Tom wrote up such a great blog post about it, but the second best part is that he let us know about it. So much of the time as a podcaster, you feel like only a few people are listening or getting anything out of it because it's such a small percentage of people actually chat back to us. Then once in a blue moon, someone wonderful like Tom on the internet pops their head up to give us a shout out. When these rare gifts come, we realize that we're doing something cool and that it's appreciated far beyond what we know. Now, I do want to say also that I went back and read Tom's blog, like I said, but I read some other stuff on his blog, and it turns out he's only recently become a developer, and he's got a great post where he talks about his growth as a developer in his first year. So I've written to him, and he's going to be a guest on Chit Chat Across the Pond sometime in the future. By the way, Tom, can I interest you in a show called Programming by Stealth? All right. Gazmaz. Wait, no. Gazmaz isn't here. All right. The podfeed.com link isn't working for me. Are you helping Frank, Steve?
He's now watching on YouTube.
Yeah. Have you fixed the link on podfeed.com?
It's working. I think he's pointing maybe. I'm not sure why it's not working for Frank, but other people are seeing it there, and I'm seeing.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, it's good if you can see it. That's important.
Well, Sandy's watching it as well. It's not just me.
Oh, okay. I was just teasing. I think he's a little sensitive after that crash.
No, it's important people know what's working and what is not, and I'm trying to get accurate information out there.
Okay.
And podfeed.com/live is working.
Heard ya. All right. I'll do that one. I think I'll do a chapter mark. I only wrote 2 little articles.
2 little articles?
2. Well, that was the first one.
Is Capto the next one?
Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, no, that's correct. Yeah, Capto. The Capto one's a good meaty one. But that's about it. But then we got some security bits, so we're good. All right. Well, that's weird. I don't see in your version of it, Steve, can you see the Capto logo?
Let me go. Capto.
Do you see it there?
Yes, I do.
Okay. It's weird. It's not coming in on my blogging software. Okay. Muting Steve. Making sure I save just in case. I collect screenshot apps like other people collect shoes. It's not that I haven't found a good screenshot app, it's that there's so many good ones to play with and they're really fun. I probably use the built-in screenshot utility in macOS more than any of them. I use Command Option Shift 4 to copy a screenshot to my clipboard. Nope, read what it actually says, Allison, because that's not right. What you wrote originally was right. I collect screenshot apps like other people collect shoes. It's not that I haven't found a good one, it's that there's so many good screenshot apps to play with. I probably use the built-in screenshot utility in macOS more than any of them. I got to tell you, Command Control Shift 4 to copy a screenshot to my clipboard is my constant go-to keystroke. I often grab an entire window by hitting spacebar first or just drag on a region of interest. I use the copy to clipboard command because lots of times I'm just going to paste it into a Telegram message. And if I'm not, my clipboard manager, copy and paste, will hold on to it until I need it. If I know I'm going to save a screenshot, I'll often use Command Shift 4, which opens it immediately in preview so I can save it out to disk. But I almost always regret doing that because I often want to add an annotation, and I hate the annotation tools in preview with a fiery passion. When you drop in an arrow, it just drops it in the middle and then you have to move it. You don't get to draw the arrow where you want it, so it's incredibly inefficient. When annotation is a must, I use monosnap, or let's see, that's Option Command 5 in my world. Again, I can do a window or drag for an area, but once I've got no, read what it says. When annotating When annotation is a must, I use monosnap or Option Command 5 in my world. Again, I can do a window or I can drag for an area, but once I've got the shot, the annotation tools are ever so much better than preview. I can click and drag for a precise location of an arrow or a box to highlight something, and I can change the line's thickness after the fact, and I can blur out sensitive information. You can't do any of those things with preview. I know MonoSnap can record video as well as screenshots, but for some reason, when I want a quick video to show something off, I use the screen capture tool built into Parallels Toolbox. With one click, I can grab an area of the screen, hit record, hit done, and then the video is nicely cluttering up my desktop. Sometimes I'm lazy and I send that giant file as is to someone. Usually Stephen gets, but Dorothy often enjoys my videos of my homework progress. If I'm feeling kind, like when sending a video of a bug to a developer, I'll open the video in QuickTime and export it to a smaller format. And yes, I know I can record video of the desktop directly using QuickTime, but for some reason, I just don't reach for it to do that. Parallels Toolbox is right there in my menu bar with all of those tools I go to all the time. Now, you would think that I have enough screenshot tools at my disposal, but I have a new one that's pretty fun. I had lunch this week with my buddy Niraj, and he told me about a tool he'd found called Capto. I looked into it, and I'm pretty sure it's the replacement for a screenshot tool I reviewed a decade ago called Voila. I'm not kidding about the decade part. It was in 2009 that I reviewed this tool. Capto is from a company called Global Delight at globaldelight.com. They also make a tool you might have heard of called Boom. I know I've talked about it. It modifies your system sound. Back when I last looked at Boom, it just made the macOS audio louder, but it looks like they've expanded it into 3D sound and now it runs on iOS and Android and Windows. But let's talk about Capto, the screenshot utility from Global Delight, and see if it's going to be added to my arsenal of screenshot tools. Capto is $20 with a free 15-day trial, and it's also included in your setup subscription if you're of that persuasion. Capto works as a menu bar app and as a normal app. Use a menu bar app or the keystrokes they give you for the different things you can capture, and then the image opens in the editor and is stored in the Capto library for future use. None of my other tools have a library function. Capto will give you the typical type of screenshots: full screen, area, or window. But it has more options than I've seen in most screenshot utilities. It has a dedicated option to capture a menu, which is something I really want. But unfortunately, for the life of me, I can't get it to work because of macOS Catalina permissions. Support is working on getting me some help to try to get it to work, but they sent me a download version. And so now I have two versions of Capto because I have the one from setup and I have this downloaded version, and things are getting very tangly. Oddly, it's only the menu capture tool that seems to be annoyed with screen recording permissions in Catalina. Every single other feature of Capto works flawlessly for me. So anyway, they're working on it. And I don't want you to hold that against them, but it should have a menu capture app. All right, let's skip the menu option. The next option is something that's definitely rare in screen capture apps. It's not unknown, but it's pretty rare. You can capture an entire web page with Capto. With your web page of interest open in your browser, simply go to the menu bar app and choose Snap Active Browser URL. Instantly, you've got a PNG of the entire thing, like no matter how long it is. Capto also has a built-in browser, so you can navigate in there if you like, but I figure the native browser is probably more useful, and they've got that too. Once you have a snap inside Capto, things get really interesting. For the web page snap I just mentioned, on the right-hand side, you can see the file name, which is a prefix of your choosing in preferences, plus date and time. Then the title of the web page and the URL that was captured. I think it's pretty slick that it captures both the title and the web URL. You can also see at a glance the dimensions of the image in pixels, the size on disk, the date captured, and the type of snap you did. In this case, it says web snaps. Now remember, I said Capto is actually a library of your screen captures. You can search and filter by the type of snap, which is like in this case a web snap, and you can also look for screen snaps and imports. You can also add tags and a description in a notes section. So all of those are available for doing a filtered search. I guess I sort of buried the lead there when I said camera snaps. Capto records video as well as screenshots, and it can take photos and videos with your webcam. You can even record your webcam while recording your desktop, creating a picture in picture video. You can choose which microphone you want for your voice and record computer audio at the same time. You can even choose to have mouse clicks recorded into your video. Other than the $100 ScreenFlow, I've not seen a tool as inexpensive that can do all of this. Often, when capturing video of my screen to send someone, they can see what a mess my desktop is. With Capto, you can choose to have your desktop clutter hidden away and replaced by your desktop wallpaper, another image, or a solid color. You get the option to record a custom size, or you can choose from some standard sizes. I really have wished that Parallels Toolbox had the option for standard sizes because I always end up sending these mutant aspect ratios to people. I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt anything, but it's just kind of weird when you get like a square video. Once you've captured your masterpiece video, you can do some fairly advanced editing in Capto. Like QuickTime, you can trim by dragging the ends of the clip, but you can also crop the video to a new size and you can cut bits out of the middle of the video so you can slice it and take little pieces out. Capto also lets you do some pretty neat annotations of your video. You can put in rectangles and arrows, even bendy arrows. You can put in thought bubbles and plain text, and you can blur sensitive information in video. You can even import images to overlay on your video. When you make these annotations, they're kind of think of them as objects on top of the video. You get an indication in the timeline of when that annotation stops and starts, and you can drag those ends around to get it to start and stop exactly when you wanted it to. The annotations show in the timeline with an icon for the type of annotation. For example, I can see an arrow in the timeline where my arrow annotation was inserted. Get this, you can even stack annotations so they overlap on the timeline, so two things are on screen at the same time, and yet still move them around and change their duration on the timeline separately. After your video is captured, you can modify the computer audio and the microphone audio independently, changing volume and adding fades in and out. By default, the video from your webcam comes into the picture in picture in the bottom right, but you can change that in the editor to several different positions and change the size of the picture in picture video. If you get it done and you realize, man, I don't really like to have my camera video in the picture in picture, you can uncheck that box to include camera video on export. I sort of jumped ahead by going straight to the video screencasting capabilities of Capto, and I completely skipped over regular old screen snapshots. I explained the shots you can take, but I skipped a really interesting one. You can capture a free form area on screen. You get a little cursor that you drag around to capture any shape you want. Now, I'm not quite sure what this would be for because it ends up looking kind of goofy, but it's fun to play around with if you're a creative type. The annotations on images are even more fun than those on videos. You get a pen and a highlighter with controls for the stroke width and color. The thought bubbles can be a few fun, different cartoony shapes as well. You can stamp your image with solid rectangles, ovals, stars, diamonds, pentagons, and octagons, and even a free-form tool. All of these tools have the option to change the stroke of the shape, add shadows, and even control the opacity of the shadow. I mentioned the blur tool a couple of times, which is awesome for hiding stuff. But sometimes you want the opposite. You want to add focus to something specific on screen. With Capto, you can choose a shape, freeform or predefined, and everything outside of that shape will be darkened, leaving only the things in your shape looking bright and important for focus. I should mention that all of the tools I've been describing are non destructive, allowing you to move them around, delete older ones, edit text, and change pretty much anything you desire. Back on the video editing, where I said you could cut out part of the video, you can even undo that after adding other annotations. One thing my beloved Clarify app had was the ability to add sequence step bubbles. Capto has that capability too. One enhancement I'd like to see is that if you put down, let's say, three sequence bubbles like one, two, three, and if you delete the second one, the three really should change to a two, like it did in Clarify. There's one last crazy tool. It looks like a standard issue rectangular marquee tool, but if you drag it over an area, nothing seems to happen. It turns out if you drag on the rectangle you just drew, it copies that area as a new object on screen. Not only that, you can increase or decrease the size of that area that you just copied. You can move it around and increase it or decrease it. That creates a very interesting effect. I can see it to show off a particular part of a snapshot screen snapshot, like you want to say, this menu right here. George from Tulsa often sends me photos of his dogs, and they always have a silly thought bubble coming out of their heads. I sent him a picture of Tesla on Santa's lap with a thought bubble saying, I want a milk bone dog biscuit. See, I couldn't have done that with any of my other screen snapshot tools. Below the image you've been editing, there are some more tools. You can move objects on screen forward and back. It's sort of a layering. And note that the image itself is not considered an object, so it's unaffected by that layering. You can flip annotations horizontally and vertically. And sometimes you get part of an image just perfect, like one of these annotations. It's just perfect, just the way you want it. And you want to make sure you don't mess it up. They've provided a button to lock specific annotations in place and easily unlock them later if you want to do that. There's an option to freeform change the canvas size, which can be handy if you want to add an annotation that's outside of the screenshot. I need that all the time. For some reason, I always crop my screenshots too close to the material, and I don't leave myself enough room for an arrow or for some text. Once you make the canvas bigger and add your annotations, Capto has a button to crop the canvas right to the edge of all objects so it never is bigger than it needs to be. In a way, Capto is like a clipboard manager, except for images and videos. If you like to store your screen snapshots and videos in case you need them later, you'll like the library management tools. You can view just images or just videos, search and filter, as I mentioned before, but you can also create collections. They even have smart collections where you can apply some rules to classify your material. And notice none of my screen snapshots were cluttering up my desktop. The bottom line is I thought I was just going to spend, 10 minutes playing with yet another screen snapshot tool, but Capto really surprised me in some of its unique features that I could really use. If you have a setup subscription, definitely give Capto a try. If you don't, remember they have a free 15-day trial at globaldelight.com, and it's only $20 if you decide to buy. That's not bad at all for such a highly capable app. Whew, did I miss anything? Kevin. Oh, I can't hear you, Steve.
I think Kevin is making his point rather well here.
Is he? 101 new messages. You guys have been chatty.
Yeah, Frank's been angling for a new computer.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
Is he need us to send him one? Is that what he's saying?
That's exactly what he's saying. You picked up on that quickly.
Yeah. Uh-oh. He has an iMac?
Yeah, it's not behaving well for him.
I don't think we have any spare iMacs, do we?
Not spare iMacs, no.
Did Kevin find copy and paste? I always assumed he used Text Expander, but maybe not. Doesn't that Capto tool sound good?
Yeah. Are you using it now?
I haven't really needed to do any screen snapshots since I did the review. I spent all my free time coding. All right. Actually, this is funny. I'm going to tell a tale on Bart out of school here. Let me check really quick and make sure he didn't fix it. Bart and I recorded 2 security bits today. And no, he didn't fix it. And so he sent me the 2 files. The first file was a Let's Talk Apple from May. And the second file he sent me was a security bits, but it was the one I did the last time, not the last time Marianne was here because she was here last week, but the time when Dr. Polishek was actually on the show. So
maybe it was one of those evergreen security bits episodes.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I was looking at your post, the preview of your post, and the Chit Chat Across the Pond link is not working. 404.
Yes.
We can fix that
later.
Make
sure I did fix it, but make sure I publish again from here because I fixed it on here.
Okay.
Actually, I gotta find something else. I just remembered I had a.
Oh my goodness! First Spanish, now I think we've transitioned to German.
I thought he was Portuguese at first.
No, John went German.
How do you clean that? Oh, grated cheese. Oh,
Maybe who
on the
started the
new?
German? Was
No,
that
not on
Kevin?
a Mac Pro. They did not. Did they?
Oh, come on. Oh, that's not right.
That's
That ain't
disgusting.
right.
It better not be one of the video the YouTubers. Those machines they got were God, I don't know how much they were. John Syracuse's was $17,000 and he didn't pick the high end one of the high end processors that allows you to get the
24
larger
core.
amounts of RAM, and the machines that the YouTubers got did have that. So they had to be like $25,000, $30,000 machines. I'd be really pissed if they actually if I was Apple. All right. Let me do a little pledge break here. Good job with the mute button there, Steve. All right, here we go. As you continue doing your holiday shopping using the Amazon affiliate links by going to podfeed.com/Amazon, I would like to thank Eric Fontenot for taking Frank's advice and sending along a direct donation using PayPal. Not only does this show that Eric is a listener of high taste and sophistication, it shows that he's an all around swell guy who appreciates the content that we produce every week without fail at the Podfeed Podcast Empire. If you'd like to be sophisticated and swell like Eric, head on over to podfeed.com/PayPal and send along a one-time donation of your choosing. Thanks again, Eric. That sound like Eric when I said it, or Eric? Thanks again, Eric. No, that doesn't sound right. You should probably pronounce the guy's name correctly. Nope. Try here. Come on. You okay in there, Steve? All right. Thanks again, Eric. There we go. All right, it is time for security bits. Whoa, it started playing. And now let's go look for my recording of security bits. I'll put you up here. You're not going to get to hear blink, I'm afraid. Did you show?
We need the blink.
I don't have any blink.
Oh, how did you even sync up?
I haven't yet. Poor Steve. He is. Why is that not split stereo? Option T. Oh, because I'm hitting the wrong key. It's going to be my recording. I don't have his recording at all, so. Oops. We're going to do about there, but I think
no double ender this time.
No, well, because I told you he sent me audio from last year. All right, let's hear how this sounds. Well, it's that time of the too soon. Jeez, Al. Tessa, why do you have your collar on? Well, it's that time of the week again. It's time for too late. The remastered Python box set. You're learning Python? That's cool. All right. Well, it's that time of the week again. It's time for Security Bits with Bart Bouchatz. How you doing today, Bart?
I am doing absolutely fine. So yeah, I had a good meal. They had, because it's Christmas time, they had venison in the supermarket. Like,
ooh.
So I marinated it in your friend Linda's recommended favorite marinade, and was it good?
Tasty treats. Well, I spent my my afternoon. I really wish somebody'd been recording me trying to rake leaves today, because there's really strong winds right now, and my giant elm tree is just. It's like I was trying to dry the driveway in rain, you know.
Right. Every time you turned your back, it said, "Oh, have some more leaves, Allison." No,
Yeah.
really, have a few more.
It's pretty fruitless. Well, we're winding up to the end of the year, and I asked Bart if there was a way he could. All right. I think we're going to get out of class early here today. Oh, listen to the ending. I think I said, oh no, it's in the next week's that I end up saying stay patched and stay secure. So we will, near as I can tell, we'll have a live show next Sunday the 22nd and the 29th. I don't see any reason. We won't have one on the 5th. So
CES?
Yeah, we're going to be gone to CES. But for now to the end of the year, we're going to keep having this.
So
all right.
Heads up, there will be a lot of videos coming.
Yeah. Ooh, that's right. I get the first 6 months off. Sign off and talk to you in a week.
Indeed. Until then, stay patched and stay secure.
You forgot to say, and so you stay secure. He forgot his new line. All right. I'm going to ring us out here. Right here. Well, I'm afraid that's going to wind us up for this week. Remember, the show is going to go on. We're going to have shows every week. We aren't going to miss one. Things are going to get a little out of schedule when we go off to CES on the, December 5th. We will already be in Vegas. So there won't be a live show on December 5th, but we will be, probably come out with it a day early, something like that to make myself crazy.
Hold up. You're saying December 5th.
Thank you. Was winging it. Who caught it? You?
Yep.
Were you listening? Oh, Joe, you'd love CES. Candy store. Well, that is going to wind us up for this show, but it's not the end of the year. I don't understand it. Everybody's traveling when they go to the holidays. They need podcasts to listen to so they don't have to talk to their families and everything. This is the show that will continue to go on. So we will have a show coming out on the 22nd and on the 29th of December. The weekend of January 5th, though, Sunday, we will actually be I will already be in Las Vegas for CES. So the show is probably going to be on Saturday or maybe no live show. Haven't decided yet, but the show will go on. And then we'll have all that yummy content from Las Vegas. Should be a lot of fun. But in the meantime, don't forget to send in your dumb questions, comments, suggestions, listener contributions. If you got something to say and you want to give it up, this is a great time to do it. We're doing pretty good, but we can always use more. You can send those to me at allison@podfeet.com. Guess what my Twitter handle is? Podfeet. What if you wanted to become a patron? If you wanted to join Patreon, how would you do it? Podfeet.com/Patreon. What if you wanted to join our Facebook group? Podfeet.com/Facebook. How about our Slack? Podfeet.com/Slack. And remember, if you want to join in the fun of the live show, head on over to podfeet.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCastaways, like Franco did after having been gone for a little while. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed.
Well done.
Still got an hour show out, and that's with only a half a security bits.
Well done.
Not bad. All right, let's do something like this. Go across maybe like that to right there, and then let me go up a little bit, and this one go down a lot. And let me slide this one over. Oh, not that much. All right. I want to do that, and then I think I need to do this. Nope. Wait, this tool has some odd features if you have things selected. Maybe that's expected. Like Franco did after having been gone for a little while. Thanks for listening, and stay subscribed. Nope. It's supposed to be right there. There. That it doesn't look like much in the audio. Stay subscribed. All right. I think we are a wrap. Oh, you know what? Did anybody remind me to do a chapter mark when I did security bits?
Yes.
No. I don't think anybody reminded me.
I think Kevin reminded you like 22 times.
Nope.
Yes,
I think you forgot.
No, I think you just didn't notice. Now, maybe I didn't point it out.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm standing in front
for my nuclear
of Kevin
vessel,
defending him. Uh-oh. What happened?
My previous chapter mark, just 2 chapter marks disappeared. That was terrifying. I don't even know how I did that. see, copy. Go like there, and we'll go copy link. We'll do it like an animal because I can't get Keyboard Maestro to work twice in a row. All right. I think we're done. Is there anything else to say, Steve?
Well, let's see. Well,
not Merry
I think
Christmas because we got another week, right?
Right, but we should thank everyone for joining us tonight.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. How'd I do?
Well done.
All right. Bye, everybody. Rose isn't here, but I'm going to kiss y'all goodbye. Goodbye. Sign us off, Steve.
Good night, Gracie.